Framers, stop making these two calculation mistakes and your life will become a lot easier. The hip value button can save you a ton of time when framing a hip roof, but it's frequently used incorrectly. So let's take a look at the two most common mistakes and how to use this all-powerful button correctly.
For these examples, I'll use a common hip roof. Both sections have an 8/12 pitch. The ridge will use 2x stock, so 1.5 inches thick, and the common rafters will use 4x stock, so 3.5 inches thick. The first mistake that's easy to make is using the theoretical run. Let's enter half the span of the building as a run, so 10 feet, push run, and an 8-inch pitch. Now the hip V button will show the length of the hip or valley rafter, but this is not the actual length you should cut. But let's store this in memory 1 to compare later. The second mistake is to take the theoretical run of the common rafter, deduct half the thickness of the ridge, so minus 3/4 inch for 2x stock, and enter that as run. Now the hip V button gives me a different length than earlier, but this is still not the right answer for this scenario, so I'll store this in memory 2 to compare later. The right way to use the hip V button in this scenario is to take the theoretical run, subtract half the thickness of the common rafters, so minus 1 3/4 inch, and enter that as run. Now pushing hip V will give me the correct length. I'll store that in memory 3, and I can toggle through the 3 solutions and see a difference in a couple of inches if I don't make the right deductions.